A lower bracket best of 3, Mineski taking on J.Storm here at the CORSAIr DreamLeague Season 11. We are live from the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios, and we are ready to begin and get into the draft of Game 1.
Hello!
Mineski Dire opening with the Elder Titan.
Open with Elder Titan?
Yup.
Getting the life stealer though. You still have the Coddle in here if you want to pick that as well.
No more Coddle. Those days are done, baby.
Is it though?
Hell yeah, Elder Titan open nowadays. It's 2019.
He's got nerves. I don't know about this. A little bit worried. I feel like Mineski, they need to have a good draft if they're going to beat J.Storm. I feel like they've got a small edge on them otherwise.
Mineski at least have the Elder Titan as a bit of a flex pick. Both Pylai and Febby have
that's not good.
played it.
Imagine you're drafting and the guy who drafts on the other team starts clapping and laughing.
He got super excited.
That's stressful.
Demon.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, Bat Rider first. We saw this be successful. I was very critical of it yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah,
I thought it made a lot of different, a lot of counters to Bat Rider that you could figure out, but it worked out. Bulldog, it looks like it's happening again.
Well, if you're just making sure to run him as a 4, you don't really care too much if you're countered. Just going to be a nuisance in the lane, and they pick up the Morphling already. Morphling?
Okay.
There's only been one team that's kind of been successful with this, I feel. Vici Gaming, I think it is. And yeah, I'm a little bit worried now. I am worried. Because you don't know how to lane either. Bat against Morph.
Oh my god.
5 seconds.
Stressful.
But yeah, Morphling will kind of have it'll be annoying to lane against a Bat. Just going him all the time. And if you're putting him mid, J.Storm just need to make sure they have a mid hero that can deal with Morphling.
What is the deal with Morphling? What do you get? Personally, I know my scrub knowledge. I love Necrophos be Morphling, but
You can Rage.
that is true. Guess you're Life Stealer.
You can get Life Stealer and Rage. Get out that way.
Yeah.
Is there a direct answer to Morph right now, though?
Well, you can just get the Vessel. Just that item is really good against him. Annoying.
5 seconds remaining.
You know, there's the old classic counter, which is AA, but that hero is kind of gone into the darkness of Dota.
Turn to ban.
Abaddon banned out. Surprising. That Abaddon didn't really work out last time against that Bat Rider, but
Yeah.
maybe it would for Mineski. Still got other classic counters, though, like your Venge and your Nyx Assassin. Still potentially available for Bat.
Yeah, you definitely want something, at least for Bat. You can't just have a free Bat game. So some kind of defensive hero. Is Oracle is banned, or is he? He's still in the
5
pool.
seconds remaining.
Oracle is super good against Bat. You want to pick that up?
But they are mostly still banning out offlaners on the side of Mineski, so they're expecting that Bat Rider to be just a support. Do you really want to put that much effort into countering a support?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Oracle just overall super good, though, we see in this tournament. Having a 900% win rate.
True.
Pretty solid.
70, but close. This is, by the way, going to be the first time that J.Storm play Bat Rider in this tournament. Plays Bat Rider.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wonder what made them think that it would work so well here. Very scary.
10
Well, they've had a couple of days to think about what they're going to do here.
And this is
5
an elimination
seconds remaining.
match.
Yeah, but they have got experience with that. The previous time we saw J.Storm, they were playing an elimination match against Na'Vi. It was actually a fairly close game. Not completely convincing on the side of J.Storm, but they definitely had some time to think about how to adjust and how to improve before their match against Mineski today. Mineski, of course, they come from the upper bracket as they were crushed by PSG LTD on Saturday. Not
looking too good on Mineski's side, and yeah, J.Storm, they were kind of a little bit ahead of Na'Vi, but they made a couple of throws for sure that game, so definitely a little bit bumpy right there. So we can expect a lot of up and down here from an NA team, you know.
5 seconds remaining.
What we get, and the Legion, obviously one of the good counters against Bat as well. An easy way to deal with that.
Oh man, just from that graph alone, the Viper is looking pretty threatening. That is a scary face.
Lion, of course, that's a very good counter against the Morphling. You always want to run around with low health to farm efficiently, and then a finger comes out of nowhere.
Okay, now hear me out.
Yeah?
Okay. Listening.
That Lion
Yeah?
might go to the offlane.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah?
as an offlane. A
10
3.
seconds remaining.
We've seen Fear do it before.
Has Fear done it?
5
was that an
seconds remaining.
I think Fear did it.
No, I mean, it's possible.
What's happening? Conversation?
Yeah, it is possible. The hero has gotten
Sorry.
a little bit of a buff. You got the finger buff now if you just kill a couple people.
Hey, there's Oracle.
Oracle, hell yeah.
Pick up the disgusting Oracle.
Uh-huh.
Can't believe we waited so long. The Elder Titan comes out first, but Oracle is very good in this tournament and very good in this match so far.
Yeah.
Try that stinky pinky shit on Morphlin now. You're going to get hit with the false promise, baby. Negative. Pretty good.
Pretty
10
decent.
seconds remaining.
Popular items for the hero. Hearts. On Oracle. Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
It's interesting.
Well,
He has a heart. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they were saying. As a support.
It's nice if you get
all
a heart.
these items, by the way, provided by Knoxville. So he builds Heart and Oracle.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Knoxville. I'll remember that one.
We had to pick up the Earth Spirit now, and we always see that being around as a 4, which means bad is going to be a core this game.
Or Lion.
Or Lion.
Core Lion would be sick. Let's go. All right, in all seriousness, let's talk about J.Storm and their mobility. As I always think, see a lifesteal, I think, all right, how's he getting into fights? A lot of different ways that he can get in this time. A lot of ways to shut down people on J.Storm's team. And if Lion has a pretty good game, gets himself an early Blink Dagger, we're in pretty big snowball territory here, Bulldog.
Yeah. For sure, the lanes are... Not sure about these lanes. Lifestealer generally never loses this lane unless you pick up kind of Ursa. We've seen Slarda being used against it a little bit as well. To mediocre success. I'm worried about this bat lane. You have the Oracle, can just purge away the goo. What do you do as a bat?
Not much.
You do pick up the Slarda. Just gonna smash his skull into the Lifestealer.
Yep.
Scary stuff.
And it's just gonna give you that free Roche if you ever get that opportunity. Always nice to have that. Whereas you see J.Storm, they can never really ever go Roche with this lineup.
A lot
So far.
on the back of this Elder Titan, right? Because J.Storm's lineup definitely wants to go in there and get stuff done kind of quickly, move in and out, and be very mobile like that. Elder Titan's big kit, of course, allows them to get sleeped and slowed down, not able to really pull off those team fight picks. So I don't know. I mean, Slardar's great, but what does he do in a team fight? His laning stage is really, really good. But when it's team fight time, he could blink, slam, and then what? So
He's gonna need a BKB this game for
Yeah.
sure, otherwise he's just gonna die. Or he can just go hyper tanky items, just make sure he's alive for as long as possible, because if you're playing Morphling, you just want to have as much free time to just go around and doing whatever you want in a team fight. And if your teammates are just dying and dropping like flies, that's not fun. So having Slar just in the middle of the fight, Elder Titan running in, and you have Oracle ult, you're gonna create so much space that Morphling can just go around picking off people in the fight, which is really nice so far.
Yep.
Right now looking pretty good for Mineski.
10 seconds.
Pretty
remaining.
stable. So we have a Shadow Fiend ban on the side of J.Storm.
5 seconds
Expecting still a
remaining.
mid-hero on both sides. The Bryle versus Moon debacle. We have seen Moon be a excellent puck. Wouldn't mind that. Nice and aggressive. Bryle needs to normally also have something that can be fairly aggressive, right?
Yeah. What does he play?
So
He's-
far
he's
this
from that name.
tournament, he's played Venomancer twice, and a Leshrek and a Troll and a Shadow Fiend. That's it.
Just pull out the mid AA.
Mineski's turn to pick.
Oh, okay.
Radiant's
Dandy style.
team pick.
Okay, just a well-rounded mid fighter. Okay, they feel confident here. Feeling good.
Yep, they are happy with that one. Banning out the Pugna, picking up the Death Prophet. They got that tower push on lockdown as well, but it's something that J.Storm still lacks. They don't really have a lot of tower push of their own.
They got a really well-rounded lineup here. Good catch, good team fight, good
10
objectives.
seconds remaining.
Ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, J.Storm.
5
J.Storm
seconds
has
remaining.
catch, a lot of catch. Like 3 heroes with
Yeah.
catch. They got some damage as well. A little bit of team fighting there.
Demon, he's not looking as confident as he did
No,
at the
he's
start.
not. He's not clapping now.
Where's your clapping? Demon, zoom in on his screen so we can see what he's picking.
no, don't do that.
I mean, you only have to wait a minute and 15 seconds before we know.
I want to
So
see
good.
now.
Calm down.
I really think you guys are right, but this draft is just super well-rounded. They got everything that they need, all the different ways that they can play this game, whereas J.Storm, I mean, they have got to do one job very well in this one so far. They got to get in there, they got to kill people, and they got to get out. So, I'd like to see a little bit more variety in J.Storm draft right now. Maybe somebody that can have a lot of sustain in there. It's one thing that they're severely lacking.
Yeah, but which mid does well against a Death Prophet that does all that?
I don't think anybody does well against Death Prophet right now in a one. I guess potentially a Razor, but
I mean, if you're thinking Razor, then Dragon Knight, also one of those tanky, sturdy things that doesn't die.
Oh, Dragon Knight. That guy's fallen out quite hard.
He has, sad times.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
It's the Queen of
Queen of Pain. They're going for the laning aggression. I like that. I feel like it's the only way they can win this game.
GG.
I do think that's a hero that Braille is very confident on.
Yeah, and the DP silence is going to be so good here as well. It is scary, but I feel like they kind of got outdrafted a little bit, so they have to win the lanes and just snowball this game, which COP is perfect for that. And Lifestealer generally doesn't lose his lanes. It's going to have hopefully a good game, but he is playing against Slardar.
Yep. So Bulldog, you're up first. Who will take the first game of this best of 3?
I see COP. I say stop.
Okay, well.
Mineski.
There it is. Fantastic. All right. I'm in the same boat. Quap is at a very, very low win rate. Of
You're
course.
on the same couch.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm on the same couch. Quap ain't been doing good. I feel like J.Storm's draft is pretty easy to figure out what they're trying to do. Very well rounded by Mineski. Let's go over there.
I'm on the same studio.
Oh, no. We're in trouble.
I'm also going for Mineski.
Oh, no.
But wouldn't mind being proven wrong. Let's find out what's going to happen in the first game with OD Pixel and Gods.
Hello everybody, J.Storm versus Mineski, the first series of the day here at the CORSAIr DreamLeague Major. I'm OD Pixel, joined by Gods for this one, and well, what have we got? The panel very much believing in the lineup of Mineski, and they don't seem to think that J.Storm's got a much of a shot here, but there's definitely some good stuff going on J.Storm's draft, right?
Oh yeah, Fear's Earthspirit, he's been amazing. I feel like on this year and just in general, he's been a standout 4-position player, but Braille, the quad player, he needs to step it up. I feel like that's one of the missing ingredients in this J.Storm team, is that like standout superstar player. Between Moo and Braille, they have two very stable, solid core players that I think are, you know, both easily up there as far as cores go, but neither of them, to me, ever like really steps up and carries games. Quap this game needs to do that.
I mean, he's just come back to me though. The other day though, Moo's Lifestealer was incredible.
Correct.
I can't remember who they're playing against, but it was in the best of one
against Na'Vi, right?
That's what. Yeah, of course, yeah. He played one of the best Lifestealers I've seen in quite some time. So if he can do that again. He can do incredible things. Obviously, Mineski, they do have ways to deal with a Lifestealer that's having a good game. They have Corrosive Haze, they have sort of Disable through the magic immunity with regards to that and getting the bashes out. So Moo has to be a little careful. But yeah, Moo has done it before here on in this playoff stage, just giving us an incredible showing on the Lifestealer.
I would say, speaking of some incredible hero player combos, Arjit's Morphling. This guy is a big Morphling spammer, loves the hero, very, very good on it, and that is also something to look out for in this game. It's a very mechanical player, ranked 8 on the leaderboards in Southeast Asia, and they need to try and slow him down and contest his farm, because I think Lifestealer will have issues dealing with Morphling as this game goes on.
Yeah, for sure. And lots of ways that they can make space for the Morph around the map. You're going to have that pressure being put on with this Death Prophet, with the Slardar ideally getting active early on. Lots of follow-up as well. If they can get some sort of initiation, whether it be KP coming in with a blink if he feels that he wants to get it early on in his build as the Slardar. You've got the follow-up of Febby with the Stomp, with the Earth Splitter. Lots of combos for Mineski to throw down and blow up some of the squishy heroes of J.Storm, like this Queen of Pain if he gets caught out of position.
Wanted to do some early poke harass up here. They know any damage you can get out early can help your lane a lot, and they are tri-laning against the Morphling, recognizing that if they can slow his farm down, the Lifestealer is going to fare a lot better in this carry matchup.
Yeah, in this situation, yeah, they can make sure the Moose farm is going to be okay, and they'll have first blood as well onto the Morphling. I mean, hello! What better way to start the try then against the Morph than killing the Morphling?
Absolutely. He is going to TP back, so they aren't going to dodge this try line. You know, there was that possibility Morphling could just say, screw it, let's TP bottom. But Batrider's not an easy lane either, and that's one of the nice things about the J.Storm draft is that they do have some very strong, potent lanes.
And Brawl in this mid lane, as you say, a lot of pressure on him to step it up and be that flashy playmaker as the Queen of Pain. In a 1v1 against the Death Prophet, can a Queen of Pain come out on top, or is it going to be a bit tough for him?
It should be pretty tough. I don't think it's a 1v1 matchup Quap is necessarily meant to excel at. What Quap does do is provide burst damage, which is always something you want against Death Prophet during the game, because otherwise she's just going to use Spirit Siphons and Exorcism to full effect. So if they want to go and Death Prophet into team fights and blow her up during the Exorcism, they have the possibility. But it's also not a terrible matchup. I think we'll see both Quap and Death Prophet get some good farm. It's going to be one of those mid matchups that is somewhat skill dependent.
Yeah, definitely a game where Argit down the road is going to have to be careful how low he shifts on the strength with a massive amount of burst potential from that Queen of Pain and from the Lion.
So far in the mid lane, Quap 7 last hits, 4 denies to the Death Prophet 6-5 or 7-6 now, as they are pretty much even. Death Prophet a couple more denies. But hard for Quap to get in close for the Shadow Strikes because the Spirit Siphon is a very cost-effective way to just trade harass here. It kind of forces the Quap to blink away.
Down on the bottom, KP. Got 7 CS at the moment against Rev. Rev with the slightly 9 for 4. She got top lane, a bit of aggression once again as Fear. Getting into the face of Pylai's Oracle. And Moo, 12 for 4 against Argit, 7 for 1. They continue to have the better state of the lane, J.Storm at the moment in this 3 versus 3. Maybe getting a little low as Moo is on top of him. He's got the open wounds to chase him down. And Febby, can he get his way back to safety? He cannot move. Finds the kill. Also be able to turn towards Pylai, get some good damage out of the Oracle as well. As J.Storm continuing to have this strong lane, and a lane that, as you say, we saw earlier, Mineski, they were happy to keep it like this. Argit returning to the top, being part of this 3 versus 3 against this aggressive tri-lane of J.Storm, but Mineski are suffering because of that.
Yeah, that trade was much more okay. I mean, it was a support for a support. Morphling actually gets the kill on the support as well, so Argit a little bit happier thanks to that. Mid lane, we do see Moon taking a lot of harass. He's forced a Spirit Siphon to creep just to sustain himself. This could be a kill with the Shadow Strike.
Oh, he's got a Fairy Fire. I mean, Brawl's also very, very low. Brawl has to blink up to the high ground now, getting the kill. I mean, Moon, he was really dancing on Death's doorstep there, trying to sort of stand his ground against the Queen of Pain. He could have easily backed off earlier, but he felt the opportunity to go aggressive. Doesn't pay off for him. Brawl gets that kill in the 1v1. Back up top, Moo chasing down Pylai. He's got the open wounds. A quick purge will remove the slow, so Pylai is able to get away.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, giving up that kill 1v1 to Brawl, that's huge in the middle lane.
Yeah, it's so nice. The experience advantage now going to be heavily in Queen of Pain's favor, almost a full level ahead. And that's going to make this mid lane so much better for J.Storm. Interesting, Quap, often you see that solo kill and then the Quap in that situation would just suicide to the tower so you can heal up to full health and mana. So now that when Death Prophet comes back to lane, you have an edge. But instead, Queen of Pain gets an early bottle, finds a DD rune, and will be able to heal up using those bottle charges.
Yeah, big stuff for Brian to start this off. I mean, maybe, do you feel that Moo maybe felt some sort of pressure to try and go overly aggressive and get that kill in the 1v1? Or is there the need to do that, or should he just play safe on this DP and be happy with the farm trade?
Yeah, I think it was more the greed. Often you have these matchups. Ooh, bit of a miss crush there, looking for Forev. Bounty runes coming up here, and Forev with a bottle would love to find those.
He's keeping the pressure on Pylai and KP so that they cannot get to the rune before he's able to do so. They're heading over, but there's too many sticky napalm stacks upon them. It's J.Storm. They'll be able to take the bounty runes, and Brawl again in the middle lane, getting these 1v1 kills on Moon. He's going to have the level 6 in the next creep, so this lane is just getting scarier and scarier for the Death Prophet.
Yep, that was with a double damage rune, but Death Prophet knew there was a double damage rune, so there's no real excuse to say, oh, you got a DD, that's why I died. Well, you see it. Play safer.
This is just straight up mistakes being made here in the mid lane.
Yep.
By Moon.
2K gold lead already. J.Storm are crushing it here in the laning stage. All 3 lanes sitting pretty. Batrider able to kind of play a pseudo 1v2 there. Gets both bounty runes. About to hit level 6. KP about to hit level 5. And then mid lane, as we've seen, absolute destruction. Brile has been styling on Moon.
Now Moon has now called in for backup. Pielight is going to be sat behind him for the moment. We'll remove the dagger.
Yep.
At least.
It's this 3 points in dagger build that's really catching Moon out. And just being able to out-damage the Spirit Siphon heal.
Yeah, but a 2K lead at this very early stage in the game. As you say, J.Storm to be happy with the way that the lanes are working out. CS is still very even, really, across the board, apart from that bottom lane where I guess that sort of is expected. The Slardar losing the lane to the Batrider.
Yeah, and definitely expected, but it's quite a big discrepancy in the farm there. Slardar just the 15 CS, but a lot of that money being invested in regen. And that's the same thing from mid. Yeah, Death Prophet, 18 denies is a lot. 24 less hits is, I mean, comparable to the Quops, but the actual net worth difference is like 600 net worth.
Oh, it's 2 deaths.
Yeah, those deaths, and the fact that Death Prophet's being forced to constantly buy regen, has 3 tangos and a salve on her right now. Combine that with all the regen you have at the start. This has been a very poor laning stage.
Is that Sonic Wave available if Brile sees an opportunity to finish off the kill with it? And in fact, where there's a roll in from Fear, Moon's going to be in trouble. The Sonic Wave comes out onto Moon. Does that Pielight die by his side? And has got the Siphon going as Moon will be kept alive for now. Brile has to be a bit careful. He's got the haste rune though. He'll back away, so this time Moon will survive. Oh, well, no, he won't. The Shadow Strike poison's enough. Another kill for Brile, the 3 points in the dagger. Doing it with the damage over top. I mean, he had Pielight die by his side. Was there no way that Pi could remove it?
He had the Fortune's End was on cooldown. He could have used Purifying Flames between the damage tick of Shadow Strike, and the heal may have saved him. But I don't think they were. I think they're just underestimating the damage.
They were. I guess those damage ticks when there's 3 points in it are pretty hefty. Top lane March. It's giving Febby a bit of a run around here. Febby can't quite find the kill. Pi, he's on the low ground. March goes for the TP out. There's no high ground vision. March, oh, he's not going to get away though. Febby is able to get up to give that vision just in time for Pi to find the kill. Back down bottom, Fear is going to get the rotation on. Rolls forward, sets up for the lasso as they drag back KP into the flames as the Slardar burns. It's J.Storm playing it perfectly. Fear making these movements from mid now down to bottom. He's getting active and he's getting big core kills set up for his team.
Yep. All 3 lanes continuing to be won, and won convincingly. The one lane that's only a slight win, I'd say, is the top lane, where Morphling is getting decent farm, but he's even being quite heavily outfarmed by Lifestealer. So not a single real bright point for Mineski here in this early game, and they're going to have to start making some moves once they get some of these key levels to make up for this farm discrepancy. Like the Death Prophet level 6 Exorcism, Slardar maybe his level 6 with the Corrosive Haze just being able to do a lot more damage output. Something has to change for Mineski or they're just going to get further and further behind.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, you said at the start, you have to look towards Brile, stepping it up on the Queen of Pain, and 8 minutes in, having 3 kills in that matchup. You know, that's Brile pushing it to the maximum.
Yeah. I mean, you could see that the Death Prophet was doing just fine in the CS battle, was actually winning with all those denies, but Moon just getting too greedy to stay in the lane, and one of the best heroes to punish heroes that stay in the lane when they shouldn't. And that's where this lane has swung so heavily in Brile's favor.
See, once again, Pi just having to stay sat around this mid lane. There's going to be the initiation jump forward. Shadow Strike, they roll forward with Fear. Another TP coming in. They have to keep Moon safe. They will cancel the TP, but at least it is enough to ward J.Storm away from diving for more.
Yep.
But just having to posture themselves so defensively around that mid lane, they cannot allow Moon's game to get slowed down any further.
Yeah, the Oracle's game has just become sit behind the Death Prophet, and that means this Morphling's not getting the help he needs up top, so he's struggling to farm. Getting very low, in fact, as well. Needs to be a little bit careful. Going aggressive will find a Lion Kill. Nicely set up by the ET.
See bottom, Moon. He is going to rotate down here with the Exorcism, but Fref still got the Firefly going. He will go for the TP out back towards that bottom tower. So not only is he going to get himself away from the Exorcism, he's going to be able to keep himself alive and hold the tower. KP falling low. Fear, can he find the kick? He shoots, he scores. Fear gets the kill on KP. Moon will be able to find Brile after Brile has already used the blink to get into position. So Moon does get a pretty big kill, getting that Queen of Pain. Mineski able to find at least some sort of a trade, but it is the exorcism being used, so it will not be there for a potential early tier 1 push.
The big kill, though. Someone had to die that matters, and the Quap is that kill, and Death Prophet getting the money for ending the streak there, so 360 gold going Death Prophet's way. That, you know, that's what Mineski needed. If that didn't, something along those lines didn't happen soon, this game was going to get completely out of hand. They're still behind, they're still trailing. They need to get a key kill or an objective every time they have Exorcism up. They can't just sit around farming. They need to be proactive about using it, and that's why I like that move towards bottom. I don't like how they went on the Bat Rider, who easily just fire flew over, but luckily the Queen of Pain, Brawl, made a slightly too aggressive maneuver.
We're seeing some of these early item timings being a result of the strong lanes for J.Storm now. Boots of Travel finished on the Bat, and Moo, he's pretty much got the recipe done for the Midas. And he's already got the Gloves of Haze picked up, so that is the Midas complete at 10 minutes in for this Lifestealer.
Quap working towards an Atos. Bit of an unconventional Quap item, but not an unconventional item in this meta. Probably one of the items most needing of a nerf right now. It's just so cost effective. 2.8k for plus 12 strength as well as agility, and then you get plus 20 int, and then you get the root, which cancels TP. Something that, you know, heroes who struggle to get these kills because people TP away, like Quap, Razor, Viper, love this Atos because of that, and it just feels like it's too value for its price point. But Brawl taking advantage of it on the Queen of Pain, and well, a bit of a new item build coming out, so.
See up top, J.Storm, ready to dive in with that boost of travel. Forev's got the movement speed to easily get in and on top of the Elder Titan as Febby falls. Also gets some damage here onto Arjit. Arjit does turn into the Bat himself, starts to turn with the own Firefly. Some fire on fire action as everything's in flames here in this top lane, but Arjit will be able to get out.
Structures are fortified.
And made sure that he took all that damage in the Bat Rider form, so he's full health on that Morphling. And with this Morbid Mask, this really suggests he is going to be playing a very farm-centric style of Morphling. Wants to be able to jungle, wants to be able to farm Ancients, and doesn't want to be able to, you know, get himself low. When you're playing against heroes like Lion and Quap, you need to be farming jungle on full health, because if you're at half health, yeah, you're fine to jungle, but if there's an Invis Quap, or if there's a smoke gank from a Lion, one finger of death and you're just instantly dead.
Well, looks like we have some Fear. Well, needs to get himself back in before we get back on. What do you think about the decision from KP this game to go for the catch-up Midas? He's very far behind, as we saw. It was a tough lane for him, being left 1v1 against the Bat Rider. He is, though, still going to go for the Midas rather than sort of the earlier, maybe build up into something like a Vlad's that we've started to see other Slardars doing in the offlane.
Yeah, I think it makes sense given that he's the only one getting Midas right now, for one thing.
Sure.
And the pace of the game is that no one on his team is really coming online quickly. So if you go for an early fighting item, you don't have anyone to play around. And that's why we've seen a lot of these heroes stray away from getting, you know, the fast blinks. There are other items, like you mentioned, the Vlads or like a Drums or something that could make a bit of sense. But if you go for these early game items and you're ready to fight, but no one in your team is, you just feel like, well, why did I buy this? And that's where Midas, you're playing from behind, you're going to be looking to catch up as a team. He's going to hit item timings now that sync up with the rest of his team.
Some of the item decisions, oh, a deny there, in fact, Brawl. Just have to blink out. Fear's going to roll forward and be able to hold Arjit back a little bit, make sure that Arjit can't chase down Brawl. Yeah, nice deny onto Febby.
Yeah, Brawl's just getting every rune, it seems like, at this point. That really speaks to the control that J.Storm have over the map right now. They just have so many good heroes to punish and play aggressive with. Lion not quite level 6. That's really maybe one of their next big power peaks for J.Storm.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yes, KP, he has got that Midas done and out, so we'll now start to help him accelerate towards those first few items that he's going to be able to make plays with. And we're seeing Moo. I like the way that he's sort of changed the build-up slightly this game. He's going to go for the Midas into the Armlet rather than the Midas into the Radiance Rush. I think, you know, Moo and J.Storm, they realize at the moment we're ahead. You know, if he gets this Armlet done ASAP, which it is going to be probably within the next minute, he's just the Helm of Iron Will short of it. He's going to be very hard for Mineski to take down.
Yeah. No, that's... Yeah, interesting. We'll see if he goes back for the Radiance. Maybe feels like it's just not worth going for in this game against this lineup. And when you've got, yeah, the Bat Rider for the Infest, having an early Armlet means you've got a ton of kill potential with that Blink Lasso. So, you know, Morphling not going to be going for Lincolns. If you get the Lasso before he starts Morphling Strength, you can burst him down. And, you know, Death probably talk about how this is a hero you want to burst when you're playing against her. Well, Armlet Lifestealer is much better for doing that than some of the other greedier builds that you can go.
Yeah, in an ideal world, I guess if you're J.Storm, you want to really try and shut this down before RG gets that E-Blade, before he gets that big item that's going to get him online.
Yeah, it's interesting little choice to rush. Something that a few of these Morphling players really like to do for the aggressive potential, but it's very all-in. It doesn't give you anything in the way of stats, survivability, really.
See down bottom for Rev.
Yeah.
Just get crushed and held back by the root. Means that he won't quite be able to get a catch onto KP or Pylai Die.
Yep.
Obviously always very hard to do with the Oracle being beside a core. There's always going to be that save potential from Pi.
Do you like the Boots of Travel rush that we see coming out on the Batrider? Allows him to just be anywhere on the map he needs to be, gives him even more map control in a sense, because you can display more lanes and use that Boots of Travel TP to be anywhere on the map so easily.
See March. He nuked down pretty low here, but not low enough to actually die. He's
just trying to get his level 6 down here. Mineski wanted to try and punish that, but won't get a chance to do so.
Dire's middle tower is
There we
under
go. Armlet is up on Moo. Only the 2 points in the Rage, so doesn't quite have that maximum kill potential. Still gets decent attack speed out of the Rage, but the level 4 Rage is really what you want before maybe you go for those Infest ganks.
March this time does get nuked down by Pylai Die.
Faith in fate restored.
The casual hood. This is something I feel like has really fallen out of fashion for several patches now, but some games you just feel like you need it, and Quap is one of those heroes that if you're being bursted constantly, you want to get that barrier just for that bit of magic resistance in the fight so you don't get bursted.
Bryle. That Sonic Wave for the ready. They are eyeing up top lane. RG very hard to jump on though, will almost certainly get the chance to start shifting into strength.
Yep. They have no Blink Dagger on bat,
No.
so it's more likely just them posturing a bit. And imagine they will try and defend this mid lane. This is something that Mineski shouldn't be able to get away with.
Let's see, Moon does have the backup of Febby and Pi behind him. Rod of Atos is going to be popped down to the Death Prophet, will be quickly dispelled by Pi.
They feel confident doing this because of that Oracle Death Prophet synergy. No real way to go on the Death Prophet when there's a false promise sitting behind her.
Stomp will catch out Fear. Still though, they have to be careful on Mineski. Another spell to allow Febby to back off. He'll drop down the Earth Splitter, trying to stop them from chasing, but already they've managed to get in onto Pi. They'll drag him back. Pi does have the false promise. They have got ways to cancel the TP though, as Pi will be left behind. Argit will be able to pick off March elsewhere on the map. So 1-for-1 on the supports. That was, of course, Mineski's use of the Exorcism, and as you say, J.Storm more than able to successfully defend the tower. Now, in fact, the Death Prophet in trouble. Pylai Die is not around, of course. He's dead. So there isn't that defensive potential from the supports. They cannot save Moon, as he stands a little too far forward in the game whilst the Oracle wasn't alive, ready to support him.
Yeah, J.Storm, that Exorcism's down, and they're just ready to keep on fighting. Their lineup isn't really that cooldown dependent. They still have Sonic Wave for one thing. They took that fight without it. And when Exorcism's down, suddenly Mineski are so much weaker. ET, his Earth Split is also down, so these heroes are much more reliant on some of these cooldowns, and you're also relying on KP to get his items up. With just a casual Midas, he's not ready to really fight and join in that tier 1 mid action. He needs to really finish that first, what I imagine is going to be a Blink Dagger, just to act as a way for Mineski to start fights themselves.
And Bryle as well, looking at what he's got queued up, going for sort of that utility build that we're seeing other mids do, not necessarily Quaps, but he's got the Rod into the mech, which is what he's going to be looking towards building next. Yep. Greaves will be very nice to remove these silences such as that from the Death Prophet. And talking about the DP, she's getting gone on in the mid lane. And once again, Moon dying here to the aggression of J.Storm. They've got the slow onto Febby. Febby's heading up to the high ground, does have Argit by his side, but Fear rolls in. Febby does get the stomp off onto the two of them, and with Argit here, they can look to take some of these kills. The Earth Splitter is out upon them. Bryle has got the blink available, but they have lost Fear. Mineski will be able to find a kill return, but they keep losing Moon. Moon, he's dying a lot this game, not having one of his strongest showings this match on the Death Prophet.
And Death Prophet's always been one of those heroes you don't want to fall behind on, because once you're falling behind, it means you're just squishy in a team fight. It's a little bit more okay because of the existence of Oracle. Oh, Blink Dagger revealed. They're going to catch KP.
March trying to get some mana built up as he'll sucks it out of the Slardar, but Febi's there with the stomp off onto March. March surrounded by the two of them. In fact, March is going to be the first to pop. They do get the kill onto KP, and with Boo rotating in, open wounds slowing down Febi. They'll take the trade 2-for-1, J.Storm.
You mentioned Moo's last game on Lifestealer, how well he performed. It's a similar thing here. He is just farming well ahead of the pack, almost 10k net worth already.
Yeah, look at that. He's so close to the relic.
Yeah. This Morphling's also been free farming pretty well. Arjit's, since dying at level 1, he is 4-0-2. He's hitting a lot of creeps, but it's the Lifestealer with this Midas just farming that little bit better, and also getting a lot of kills as well for him and his team.
He's on top for Rev. He's hunting a Moon. Poor old Moon found out again, and Moo being the one to claim the kill. That's another death on the Death Prophet, just getting caught out of position time and time again, Moon.
Yeah, he respawns. He's like, okay, I can't go to lane. It's dangerous. Let's go try farm somewhere in the jungle where it's safe. But there's good Radiant vision around this top side of the map, the lane ward. There's the ward on top of that hill as well around the mid lane. So it's hard to kind of go about your business farming undetected. And J.Storm, Boots of Travel Batrider, very mobile on the map. He's able to just go wherever there's creeps or a tower and just hunts Moon down time and time again.
J.Storm keeping control of this 5k lead. So much pressure now on Arjit's Morphling to do something spectacular. If Mineski can at least slow down the game, get to the point where he's going to have at least that first and then second item to be able to turn and fight head-to-head against the Lifestealer, see the opportunity to blow up heroes with the combo.
Well and truly will be a Morphling versus the world kind of scenario, though. The Slardar is kind of pseudo keeping up with the help of the Midas, but that's a lot of sunk gold in an item that doesn't really allow him to be that much scary in a team fight. Death Prophet is just feeling like a bit of a non-factor at this point with how underfarmed Moon is, so Exorcism is still something to be a little bit fearful of in a fight, particularly if Pylai can prevent Moon from getting bursted with the False Promise, but it's very difficult because of the mobility of a Blink Batrider, a Blink Queen of Pain. There's going to be an infested Lifestealer, so they can very easily get on top of the supports in the back line. Positioning is going to be very difficult for Pylai and Febi.
Now looking at Arjit's build as well, why do you think he just decided to change his mind? As we saw earlier, he did have the E-Blade rush queued up for the longest of times, but has now gone back for the Manta first instead, playing more defensive.
The E-Blade build doesn't really do much against Lifestealer, and I think he's realized he's going to be the guy that basically 1v5s. He is the only core that's going to scale, so he needs to scale in a way that matches up against all of J.Storm's heroes, rather than, you know, the E-Blade build is about picking off supports. He needs to do more than pick off supports as this game goes on.
You see down bottom, Mineski. Do have the 5 of them here. They're trying to fight into J.Storm, but it's around the shrine, and already they've got the lasso, controlling of the Death Prophet. Can they kill him back in time? They can. They've managed to kill off the Batrider. Mineski now chasing for more. They get the jump forward. Stun from March. Holds back 3 of them. See if they can dive past the tower and go for March with jump forward from Arjit. Nice styling. As he goes in, changing into the Queen of Pain form to get that blink, close the gap. Mineski get 2 kills and will be able to claim the tier 2 tower, being able to get back together as a group and take these kills and objectives around the Exorcism.
That's the thing, you still have to respect the team fight of Mineski, and on top of that, Lifestealer was about 100 gold short of Radiance for that fight. It wouldn't have necessarily changed the outcome, but it would give him a decent amount more damage output. He jumps on top of the Oracle there and then forces that self-False Promise, which is like a good way to take a fight. If you force Oracle to use ultimate on himself, then suddenly you can go for the Death Prophet or these other targets, but Death Prophet was already having the Exorcism out, wasn't really in a position where there was much threat of being bursted, and Mineski just able to take a really good fight as 5.
Now J.Storm, now with that in mind, that they know that the Exorcism's been down and used, they're going to go and try and strike back as hard as possible. With this smoke up, see if they can find any of these big targets. Arjit will show to start hitting the creeps in the middle lane. But he's dragging them back past the tier 2 tower, so it's a bit of a deep position for them to try and get to. March on the side though. Look at the Hex opening onto Pylai. They'll find the Oracle. As Pi will fall, that's something. Still moves, staying inside for Rev. TP's coming back as Mineski are being able to find quite a bit from the half of J.Storm's map, but KP pays with his life for it.
Yeah, they're just trying to farm in the safest place as possible, which is kind of the enemy side of the map where they feel like, you know, we did have some vision there that now gets de-warden. And unfortunately for them, J.Storm are just a bit wary of it. But you've got to play keep away when that exorcism is down. And J.Storm, credit to them, they did a good job of picking apart Mineski, who, you know, are not able to entirely deny all this J.Storm vision, which kind of scouts them out a bit on the map. So Ajit with the Scotty queued up next. Gonna go kind of more all in on this right-click build, which, as I said, makes a bit more sense against the lifestealer matchup that he's playing into. Imagine we'll see a BKB eventually. You don't want to rush it by any means. As a team, you're not looking to constantly fight. Yeah, you'll take a 5v5 when Exorcism's up, but you're looking at Morphling getting BKB as a third, maybe fourth item, ideally, where you hit that late game power spike of Morphling, and that's when you want to get that BKB. Now you're still in kind of more defensive mode.
Looking up towards Fear, mid lane, they got the jump in with KP. Fierce able to roll away though before Arjit's able to close the gap. J.Storm will back off from that attempted initiation from Mineski. Tier 1 tower, of course, still standing in the middle lane for J.Storm. So Mineski can't dive any further in an attempt to get that fight going.
Yeah, even though they have Exorcism, I don't think they're going to... You don't really just want to 5-man down a lane. That's not the way to play this game for Mineski. You have to be a bit more efficient. You know, farm as much as the map as possible and try to take a fight.
They're going to get the catch onto Febby, though, but Febby is going to be saved by the false promise. Ajit is going to jump forward, wait for him back, because he's now got to be careful, as on the backlines already, they're on the high ground as this Batrider for Rev, causing chaos, meaning that the rest of Mineski's been pushed back away from Moon. Moon gets fingered, held in place. Moo, he's on top of it, stunned from March. Sonic Wave on the three of them comes out, as that's Moon burst out of the fight. Febby, can he get the Echo Stop off in time? He can. Fear's falling low. Fear gets the silence out. Febby's trying to TP away, but he won't escape. Bryle blinks up, takes down a third, and now Arjit, he's left alone. Moo, Bryle beating down upon him. Fear kicks up a stone from the low ground. 4 dead on Mineski.
Wow, somehow Fear survives through all of that on a sliver of health. The Guardian Greaves aura, the most underrated part about the item, plus 15 armor and all that health regen. That armor saves him from the Morphling right clicks, which otherwise would have killed him. And straight into the Roshan. That's the big teamfight Mineski where they use their ultimates. Unfortunately, it was way too reactionary. They're using False Promise on an ET that's already been jumped, and from there, they're just scrambling around. Death Prophet gets caught kind of alone, has a defensive Yules with some Spirit Siphon heals, but it's just not enough. When there's all the burst from J.Storm with the Sonic Wave and everything else on top, they can bring down Death Prophet if False Promise has been used elsewhere, and that's the key thing for these fights.
No, and we were seeing every time sort of the way that Forev on the bat and Fear on the Earth Spirit are just starting the chaos. They go for those back lines. They just separate it up. So Mineski, as you said, they just can't be in position to make those crucial saves happen on the core heroes. They have to just sort of prematurely react to the way that J.Storm's running at them.
They get all 4 bounty runes and go for another smoke. They could have killed Roshan there. I think it's not efficient. There are some scenarios where it's actually, you know, yeah, you can kill Roshan, but it takes so long. And if you don't get bounty runes or just you give your opponents time to farm, it's not really worth it. They know this is when Exorcism on cooldown. You're better off fighting with Exorcism down than Roshing.
Oh, he's lucky that they didn't hunt any further there.
They may see him soon, though. If he thinks they're in the Roshan pit, they will go back now for Roshan. They were really hoping to get a big kill there. I do like that they didn't just, you know, waste that window going for Roche right away. They tried to make a bigger play that could have just won them the game. But it doesn't work, and, well, Roche is still there waiting for them. That's the thing. It's not like this window where you have to take Roche or you don't get it. You're going to get Roche regardless.
There we go, Aegis on Moo now. This Lifestealer just becoming more and more unkillable. As they have very little ways now to truly deal with him. Sure, as we say, you know, they can sort of get the Corrosive Haze down on him, but because of how far ahead Moo is, there's no firepower really at the moment on Mineski's lineup. Their cores are just so far behind in comparison. Only Arjit is sort of catching up to the pace that Bryle's been able to farm at, but you look at the difference between the Morph and the Lifestealer, and it's just not even close at 26 minutes in. J.Storm are just so far ahead.
It's going to be a long, long time, I feel like, before they can deal with this Lifestealer. And one of the ways that they can make him a bit squishy and bring him down, the Corrosive Haze, to set up some of that Morphling physical damage, which is also why he wants to go this right-click build, is because of the Haze. He's going to get a Manta Style. He's already got Yasha, and once he gets like a Manta Style, I imagine he's going to just be able to easily purge that off whenever he wants to. Does queue up the Solar Crest first, so switches away from the Manta style.
Yeah, you would think that he does want the Manta first.
He had it queued up. He just swapped back to... So he's got the Yasha in his backpack with the Manta queued up, and then he's like, nah, I'm going to get the Solar Crest first. I think, you know, taking value and being able to apply it aggressively on Morphling or just having the bonus for yourself. It is a very useful item for the lifesteal of this game.
And Briar, as his build continues, Atos into Greaves into the Aghanims on this Queen of Pain. So, of course, going to amp up that AoE pure damage, and obviously the fact that that cooldown gets heavily reduced with the Aghanims purchase is going to mean that J.Storm can continue to look to take these fights in a much higher frequency than that of Mineski, as they, for the most part, can only really fight around that long cooldown of the Exorcism.
This is just so difficult to defend, and there's no defense in sight for Mineski. They're just going to let it Tier 1 go down and hope that maybe J.Storm overextend here. Mineski want to fight around that Observer Ward, but J.Storm don't envision the area. They've already backed off. They sent the Queen of Pain top. They sent Lion mid. They are just going to play it slow. Even with Aegis in their hands, they are not looking to rush things right now.
Yeah, wait for these big items. Still such a showing so far from Moo this game on the Lifestealer. I feel like both games that we have seen J.Storm and Moo's got his Lifestealer, he's just played it to perfection, to the point where if you're playing against J.Storm, you have to seriously consider maybe taking this Lifestealer away from them. It seems like Moo is just absolutely in the zone when he gets the Lifestealer.
Yep. Now, 2 games, yeah, back-to-back where he's just had free games with a first pick Lifestealer as well, so you know it's coming and you still can't deal with it.
And yeah, that's the thing, you know that Mineski this game, they wouldn't know to expect this, and this draft is, in their eyes, the way to deal with it, but it just hasn't done anything at all to slow down Moo's game.
To the high ground they go. This is now the Aegis Siege. They did go back for the Manta style, so Moo now has a way to get rid of that Corrosive Haze.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Prioritizing that over the Medallion or Solar Crest for now. It looks like he's going to go for an AC as well. Knows that he can just survive the right-click damage with the armor, and it's also a good pushing item that he's going to be in fantastic spot. He's going to be unkillable, really, with this.
You know, it's still that element of J.Storm. They want to end the game sooner than later. They don't want to leave a window of opportunity for Arjit to get to that incredible point of farmers into the jungle. Moo already finding the opportunity to go onto Pilot Eye, forcing Pilot Eye to false promise himself. They'll chase down the Oracle at the same time. They've got the grab onto KP. Verevzin with the lasso, dragging back the Slardar. KP's popped the BKB. Sonic Wave is totally whiffed, but it may not matter as KP is falling low. Actually, it looks like it might matter, bro. He can't. Oh, he's got the Rod of Atos. That'll do it. That holds down KP, and hey, he didn't need to hit that Sonic Wave anyway. Buybacks coming out from both teams, as we'll see Pilot Eye and March return to the fray, and March does dive back, actually, and as Arjit's able to burst him down, gets in over to the half of the map of J.Storm. That will be a dieback online, so a little scrappy here overall from J.Storm, but still holding the lead. Now ready to go back in. Fear picks up Moo inside him, and Moon's been found. Will self-heals himself up into the air, but they surround him. The Death Prophet in trouble. He needs someone to save him right now. Is it going to happen with the Siphons? It is, as Moon. He is still alive this time around. Can Moon finish him off? Moo's been rooted. Has to Manta, has to try and get out of it, but they're chasing. The Siphons slowing him down. If they lose Moo here, this is going to be a huge kill for Mineski. He's got the Rage back up to dodge the Adaptive Strike. Still continue to toggle his way out and has the movement speed to escape.
He just was losing the Aegis as well. If they'd been able to chase him down and hit him as the Aegis was expiring, that would have been a massive kill. But even so, it's still a decent team fight for Mineski. The dieback on Lion. They keep the Death Prophet alive. It's
He's trying to clear out this wave in the middle lane, but the 3 of them are here chasing him. He does manage to force up to the high ground, and does mean he will get himself away. But as you say, even though J.Storm still hold the lead, definitely signs that mistakes can still be made in this game, and Mineski can still be given an avenue of opportunity to get back in.
And we're seeing some of the strength of the Morphling and the Lifesteal. Being able to just use the Morph on him, you get a free Rage out of it. You can Rage, then turn back into Morphling, or you can just Rage and be a Lifestealer running at people with open wounds and whatnot. Arjit using that Lifestealer form to great effect to just go on this Lion. March is just food in these fights. Without any mobility item, if he gets gone on by the Morphed Lifestealer, he's just straight up dead because he can't deal with the magic immunity. And as a result, Arjit doesn't even need to prioritize BKB this game because of that morph.
Fair. He's looking for the setup. He's able to close the gap and allow for the jump in front forever. They get him with the lasso, and that's going to be Moon dead. There's going to be at the same time Arjit trying to turn. Zips him with a waveform, pops the rage and turns into fear, beats him down on the Earth Spirit. Sonic Wave from Briar will clear off the kill on Pilot Eye before he's able to TP away. So there's 2 dead on Mineski without buyback. Lanes are in okay position though for Mineski. They are pushed over to J.Storm's half, so J.Storm are going to have to get pushing as they'll start to bring in the mid lane.
Yeah, not sure if they really want to go for any kind of a high ground play here. Death Prophet kill is nice and all, but that was actually a Death Prophet who didn't have ultimate anyway, so it's like, was there really much Moon was going to do during this window other than farm or push out a wave or two? Not really. But it is still, you know, small victories for J.Storm, who are now eyeing off this last outer tower down bottom, and also just looking to eye off this entire enemy jungle. They've got the vision up there with an observer ward. They've got map control. Very difficult for Mineski to move out on the map right now.
Let's see Mineski. The next hold has to be a big one. They've got the ults ready.
Maybe we'll see if they focus around contesting the next Roshan, for example.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Does walk in and get the steal. He's just trying to pretty much spend as much time with the Lifestealer morph up as possible. Got the plus 20-second morph duration. And it's going to be... He's able to frontline. He's not really afraid of getting picked off because of this. He's tanky enough that even if he gets, you know, lassoed or... I mean, the Lion can't really go on him because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger in. So even Mineski feel like they may be able to make a play here. They smoke up from the high ground. Don't know if they meant to smoke the Morphling as well with them. They may have wanted to show him so that he can just push out some lanes. But even so, this could catch J.Storm by surprise.
He's blinked into this.
Oh, no.
They've got the jump force straight away. They get the crush off. Can Bro get himself away from this one? He has got the grease ready to pop, but the bashes come out and Bro is dead. At the same time, they'll jump in on the backlines, get Pilot Eye. So 1-for-1 at the moment. Arjit's able to burst down Marge. The Shadow Strike dagger is out onto Arjit, but he turns into the Lifestealer. Silence onto Brile. They're chasing down this quad. Brile, he brought back for this, and he's going to die. That's a die back on the Queen of Pain. Mineski pulling it together. Arjit continuing to pick up these kills. The game getting to a point where Arjit's Morphling is seemingly enough to carry strong against J.Storm's cause.
Yeah, this Rage is just so effective. He's able to get rid of the Shadow Strike, the Spirit Vessel, all this Dispel coming out from getting used to Rage. And with Exodus up, they really want this Roshan. Mineski, if they can get this Aegis for themselves.
Oh, this is going to be huge. The beginning of the turnaround here.
J.Storm want to at least go for a steal. That Rider 4F.
He's going to try. He's going in, but already Arjit's picked up the Aegis. They'll be able to send Forever up into the skies. We'll be able to force stuff out of the pit. But an unsuccessful attempt there from 4F to steal any of the action as Roshan and Aegis secured by Mineski.
Will be J.Storm at least getting some bounty runes, so they'll get all 4, it looks like, which is a decent chunk of gold. It's about a 400 gold per bounty rune, so 1,600 gold picked up for J.Storm.
KP setting up for another catch. There's the follow-up from Febby. Spirit and the stomps down onto March, but they're going to jump in with Forever. They're going to try and do their best to protect the line, as it seems. Elsewhere, Mood does kill off Pilot Eye, and with that play from Forever, March will be able to get out of there. It's back towards mid lane Arjit. He's able to waveform away, has the Firefly as well to help himself escape, and he's got a lot of money on the Morphling. 5.5k is queuing up the Butterfly, continuing to just go for the I've got to carry my team build this game. Getting those right-click items, the Skadi, the Manta, the Butterfly, everything required, so he can beat down this Lifestealer.
Yep. He's at some point going to have to go head-to-head with Lifestealer. And he's going to win that battle because Lifestealer doesn't want to go MKB or anything. The issue is he needs to be the one killing everyone. It's not just the Lifestealer. He's the one killing the supports in the fights. He's the one that needs to be there, provide the damage to burst the Queen of Pain. His team are just still kind of playing from behind. Death Prophet has managed to get a couple of items up with the Pipe, Yules, and Solar Crest. So if that Solar Crest can be used offensively on Lifestealer when he's not raged, for example, it's pretty nice. But it's still a bit of, I feel like, a unconventional item because the active component of this item isn't amazing on the Death Prophet. But he can also chuck it on the Morphling, and that's what I imagine is maybe his idea. Is that, okay, I'm not carrying these fights, Morphling is, let's just chuck the Solar Crest on him for that bonus attack speed.
Well, it actually looks like Archie is still deciding what, because he had the butterfly queued up, but now he's gotten... Okay, queued up the state time now, he does go back and purchase the full butterfly. So there I have it. Arjit now offering a hefty amount of right-click in these fights.
Yeah, I like this more than Satanic. He needs to do damage. He's staying alive fine. Satanic is great these games where the status resistance is super value and you're not going to die with it, but I mean, he can die with it if he's in like a 1v5. And that's where in a team fight, he doesn't need it because he's not the target. J.Storm's going on the Oracle first, the ET. They want to go in the supports and they want to blow up the Death Prophet. They pretty much have to ignore Arjit and hope that he only kills 1 or 2 heroes. That's how J.Storm take these fights.
He's pretty terrifying, this morph now. He really is. They'll take a tier 2 tower, Mineski.
They're down 10k gold, but they're the ones poking at high ground here, Owen.
Done so much so far to turn this one around, Mineski. As for the longest of times this game, it has been J.Storm riding the lead, but for the last 10 minutes, I feel that lead just hasn't changed. It's been stuck at that 10k advantage. Mineski have managed to slow down the lead that J.Storm got so early on in this game. And now the Morphling is definitely a massive issue for J.Storm.
He hits so fast with all this attack speed. The Solar Crest, the Rage, he's such a force in the front lines, but unfortunately at some point the split push is going to force him back, and that's what Fear's done. He almost gets the tier 3 tower, and wait, no, they cancel their TPs. They're going to stick it in mid lane. Okay.
So they won't be able to get back, but no one is... Yeah, the J.Storm are all back themselves.
The Sonic Wave is clearing out the waves. They can't push high ground. This Ag Sonic Wave just being used to buy time here. Having Sonic Wave on a 35-second cooldown.
Pie will be caught out on the retreat.
Yeah, it's so hard to push. The Sonic Wave being able to one-shot creep waves.
Yeah, every single wave pretty much.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a creep wave comes every 30 seconds. He's just got to wait 4 or 5 seconds and no push for you. So they lose a tier 3 tower top in the end. Mineski misjudging the situation. I think just not... It's one of those things, you don't play against Corp very much. This is an unpicked hero, and you kind of forget, like, I think in that scenario, they're probably like, okay, she's Sonic Wave 1 wave, we'll just push with the next wave. That's why they stuck around, and then, well, the next wave also got Sonic Wave.
I mean, you don't play against Quap much, you don't play against an Aghanim's Quap pretty much ever. It's not, you know, not the build that we've been seeing in pro games. But Bryle has certainly been making a good case for it this match, 6-3 and 10.
Yeah, they're going to need pickoffs to break high ground. Ideally on a Queen of Pain, but even someone like a Bat Rider could be nice. You need to put yourself in a situation where you can have a numbers advantage. Quick pause coming out. This Oracle's having such a tough time. It's so hard to position in team fights that Pilot Eye has been on the receiving end of most of the aggression from J.Storm at the start of these fights. Does have a GPM talent at level 15. Definitely one of the, I think, recurring themes in a lot of these popular meta supports is these GPM talents. Just feels so nice. Suddenly, you know, you hit this mid game as a support, and you're suddenly getting an item. You know, if you're a support without GPM talent, at 30, 40 minutes in, you just can't finish an item a lot of the time. That's Lion right now. Lion has that level 15 GPM talent, but he hasn't hit level 15 yet. He gets there now. So this Lion has had 4 stuff queued up for like 20 plus minutes. He's only going to finish it because he has a GPM talent.
The dream's going to be made a reality. Yeah, with that 150.
And that's Oracle as well, able to hopefully complete an item to try stay alive in these fights. A 4-staff, a Glimmer Cape, whatever it may be. But these fights for Mineski, the Aegis would be nice to take one, but unfortunately for them, they just don't find the opening to do so, and they're going to be forced back. And they keep this game alive, though. This late game Wolfling is definitely a bit of a threat.
Arjit just taking towers with ease. Satanic money nearly ready to spend.
We might harass the high ground here. Could force out a glyph.
Rage on rage action hit from Arjit and Moot. Moot is able to jump into Fereb, but in fact Fereb's going to get jumped up by KP. Still though, Mineski wanting to be a little careful about how they go in and out on the outside of the base. Then fuels out onto the Bat Rider, but a force back up to the high ground keeps Fereb out of harm's way.
A little bit dicey there with the double damage on Lifestealer, but they managed to hold just fine. They don't have a glyph either, so it could have been a bit of a precarious position for Mineski, who will force J.Storm away. And the game will go back to a little bit of a stalemate. I imagine J.Storm are just going to be lurking around their wards, trying to find pickoffs around them, but Mineski are actually smoked up, so while J.Storm have vision, they may get caught by surprise.
Yeah, the smoke's going to dispel, so they know the Bra's around. Bra will be able to blink away. Arjit goes in, does get immediately silenced, but he's got the Manta Smelt dial to remove it. Turns to the Lifestealer, has the Rage ready to go now, turns back towards Bra. Bra is going to be forced to blink out. They do jump in with Feref, but Feref's been corrosive. Hasty taking a lot of physical damage as they waveform forward on the Morphling. Up to the high ground, KP goes, gets the bash off onto the Batrider. That's Feref dead. Greaves to remove the silence, Bra able to blink away. Mineski did use the Exorcism for this. See if they're able to get anything more than just the kill. They'll sweep across towards the mid lane, start to get that wave pushed in. 2 runes now starting to spawn, of course. Arcane down bottom is going to be grabbed by Febby, and a haste runes there waiting on the top lane. Fear does have Moo inside him.
Yeah, once the Exorcism used, they only get the Batrider out of it, but given that there's no immediate objective for J.Storm to get when Batrider respawns, it's not really the biggest deal because we're kind of reaching that point where these respawn timers are pretty long. So if you're waiting for her to respawn to punish a cooldown like Exorcism, this isn't early game where you're respawning right away and you just go fight. Batrider's back and Exorcism's going to be online in the next 30 seconds. So it's a very small window if you're not using buybacks to kind of play against these long cooldowns. But I think right now, you're not looking to buy back. You're not looking to force action until this next Roshan. That's where both these teams are going to be investing a lot of their resources, their buybacks. And
KP.
Yeah, there's a BKB. He's going to have to pop it.
And we'll continue to chase, but yeah, it's able to blink out. And Bryle does try and go. Oh, he actually finds him here. He's able to read the movement and get him on the angle that he was trying to escape up the river, and Bryle will be able to set up for the kill on KP. They take that Slider out.
Didn't have a TP and gets chased down the river, which is a bit surprising. There wasn't really any Radiant Vision around that area, and Queen of Pain just kind of happened to walk into him, and luckily for him, it's not a fast Roshan respawn. It's going to be about 1:45, and his respawn sitting at about 60 seconds there, so Mineski still may get antsy. They don't know, much like J.Storm, what that Roshan timer is going to be. As both teams will look to prioritize their vision and their positioning on the map around that Roshan pit. And now we're at also that 40+ minute stage of the game where double runes come into play, so we're going to be seeing a lot more double damages, which, particularly on Morphling, can have a big impact on these team fights.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
This is where maybe, I mean, if you had a bottle, you almost want to just give it to Morphling to backpack, and if he ever finds a DD rune, you want him to be bottling it up for a team fight.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
But for now, J.Storm taking over the map, taking out those shrines, so if there's a Roshan fight, there's no shrine to use buybacks and TP into. Means that Mineski are going to have to get a much cleaner fight and can't just rely on having buybacks for covering up mistakes.
Yeah, Moo picking up that brand new nullifier. Does mean his slots are starting to get filled up, so he can't actually hold the armlet at the moment.
Also means he doesn't have buyback right now, but he can farm that pretty quickly, and I don't think he's in too much danger as he sits in this mid lane farming. Could also sell the armlet and get there. But 11k gold lead, but we've been at this point for quite some time.
We really have. You see sort of the staticness of this game. I mean, sure, the probability still sitting 70% in J.Storm's favor, but
that's not like super convincing, you know, considering the state of this game right now.
KP, he's going to run straight into this. Immediately there's the reaction and the fingers out. That's KP dead. He tried to go in for the initiation, but J.Storm were quick to react with Feref jumping in with their lasso. And now look for more J.Storm, and Mineski's ready to react. They have the Exorcism down, moving in onto Fear. Fear will fall. So it is the Ghost expended. See if Mineski can get more. KP also buying back to look to make a further play.
Fear has buyback as well, so if he sees Mineski go into the Roshan pit, he may want to use this to contest it. Sure, if you want to give up this Roshan, this is Rosh number 3. A refresher shot on Death Prophet would be amazing this game.
Let's see, there's the
They're killing
buyback
it
from
too
Fear.
fast. He's too late to buy back.
Nobody's going to get into the pit to contest it. Mineski get a free Roshan. Cheese picked up for the time being by RG. Refresher shot, as you say, going the way of Moon. And there's that Aegis.
I don't think this game's 70-30 anymore. This feels more 50-50
with the way the Mineski are controlling a game that they were behind him for the most part. The fact that they've managed to hold onto their high ground, they haven't lost any racks. And Arjit is absolutely in a state now where he can carry this to a victory for Mineski.
Yep. There is.
Fine pie. Arjit, he is going to try and make them pay for it. So look towards Moo. Chasing down Forever as well. The BKB on the bat about to wear off. Brawl goes for the Sonic Wave onto 3 of them, but had to blink back. KP, he's up onto the high ground though, and in fact with a head ghost stomp from Febby, they've caught the 2 of them. The Earth Spirit is down as well. Brawl, BKBs, blinks away. But Mineski, they're going to be sure to try and chase this down. See if they can get on top of him, but Brawl has to blink back up. He'll get back and out of there. Highlight dies brought back. Not without March, but March himself also does have buyback available. He feels the need to do so. Cheese is going to be passed over to Arjit as they'll now move in on the bottom lane. With their Refresher Shard, they have got the potential to just get the Exorcism back out if they want to go for the pressure right now.
That is, yeah, the scariest thing here. He doesn't need to use it because I think Exorcism being up in 40 seconds, he may just want to wait and then have double ultimate.
Well, let's see. Sonic Wave just being thrown out.
Yeah, 30 seconds until Exorcism. Moon's trying to hold on to this Refresher Shard. The double ultimate would be so much better than using it right now.
I mean, of course, with just Arjit's right click, they can take the towers very, very quickly. Jump in's going to be attempted from Forever, but in fact, KP comes in with the counterplay. BKB's out from Forever. Arjit, he heads forward. He's beating down off the battle. Already on the back lines, they've lost the Lion. March dead for 70 seconds. He is dead without buyback. Moon sticking down low. He's got the false promise from Pylite either, and that's going to allow Moon to start charging straight back in. Echo Storm catching out Brawl. Brawl's going to try and keep himself alive. Up in the air he goes, pops the BKB, gets the Sonic Wave out to Moon, but Moon's healed back up by the false promise. Moon's going to be fine. Mineski still all alive outside of the base.
Oh, they've got a defender, looks like. Big creep wave coming in. That was going to get at least a range Rax, and unfortunately, Mineski would have loved to hang around and buy. Yeah,
he's still trying to poke at Febby.
They know that Mineski are a bit split up here.
They do manage to shut down the Slardar with the nullifier from Moon. Moon also able to clean up Febby. Arjit now, he's sort of on his own. The lasso there holding him down. He has got an Aegis. And there is attempted business traveling, but the creep's going to get killed off. He's not going to be able to get into help Arjit. Arjit, can he play his way around? He's against 4 heroes here. He's nullified Sonic Wave. The Spirit Vessel down upon him as well means that there's no way for Arjit to escape.
Oh my. Wow. Considering how well Mineski's played the last 30 or so minutes from behind, that was catastrophic.
Absolutely. I mean, now...
That's one where you use that word throw a bit, and that feels a bit like one. Not that, this was Mineski's game or anything, but the way they took that fight and had Death Prophet TP top, and then they get caught retreating. That's stuff you just don't expect out of these pro teams.
Oh, and now they're into the base, jumping in onto Moon. Moon, he's got to try and survive here, but Fear's on top of Febby. Febby forces back. Mineski backing up now. Arjit is in. He's buying back into the game. They'll turn with the silence onto Fear. Fear getting echo stomped by Febby. He's down and dead. Jump forward again for Rev. He's got the lasso. The controls there. The starting away from Brawl onto the 2 of them. The Eon Disc keeps Moon alive. Arjit, he's able to pop the Satanic Heal back up to full. Brawl, BKB pot. Echo Stomp's going to catch him in place. Brawl is slept. March will fall as there's a double kill for Moon. Brawl, can he escape from this? One more blink out. He has that valuable cargo. He's got Moo inside him. They have to get out these 2 cores. Another blink from Brawl goes for the TP, and he will make it out in the trees.
Oh, that was so close. If they lose the Queen of Pain there, that could almost just be game. Death Prophet has a Refresher Shard in that situation. And somehow, Mineski salvaged the fight there. They did have to buy back on the Morphling. Death Prophet sitting on like 9k gold.
Wow.
Moon?
To the Moon. He's rolling it. He's queuing up a Hex.
He's saving up for
Hex or Octarine, what's he want? He wants the Hex. Okay.
Yep. He wanted a ticket on Elon Musk's shuttle to the Moon.
Yeah. So, I mean, both teams now, they have these Hex pickups. Braille and Moon.
And we saw Morphling so close to going down that fight. He was on about 300, 400 health when he pops the Manta, then Satanic heals himself back up. That was such a dicey situation. If he dies, game over. He has no buyback.
This game is so close to ending, but which way, it's impossible to tell.
Interesting the Queen of Pain went for the Lincolns, the 15-second spell block. It is a very strong talent, but the Fear is also like an extra disable. Take another look at this fight here and just see how close the Morphling was to going down here. Arjit, playing very aggressive in the front lines.
Because they get that lasso.
Yeah. They get the lasso, they get him very low with the Impale follow-up, but he barely escapes there, and there's the Satanic heal back up. And that was almost disaster for Mineski.
I mean, Arjit, this whole game has just been keeping it cool. He really has. He's just not slipped up, and Mineski need him to continue this level of play. I mean, he's 14-3-6 in a game where Mineski for the entirety of this game, they've been playing with this 10k gold, this sort of deficit. It doesn't really show. They're keeping the game at a very level pace. It's a close game, despite the numbers, as Arjit is just able to put in the work as this carry Morphling.
See, probably the game even slow down in some comical way now with Roshan no longer in play. Next Rosh will not be up for at least another 3 minutes or so, and I believe all 3 of the Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard were even used in that fight, so no more Refresher Shard for the Death Prophet.
And these big late game items continuing to fly out. You see Forev queuing up the Aghanims, that extra bit of control. You know, sort of the double lasso combined with the Hex from Braille. They've got a lot of lockdown, and then the real onus and pressure is on Pylai Dai. He's got to think fast. Who is he going to save with the false promises? That decision could make or break the game.
Yeah. This is also where I feel like Mineski in these late game scenarios, despite their gold deficit, holding their own and don't feel like they're behind us because they're getting more out of some of these heroes. Like Oracle False Promise can win you a fight. This Lion, I don't feel like he has tools that can win you a fight. If he's going in to use Impale or Hex, he's probably just dying in one shot. You know, you have a Hex on Queen of Pain. Oracle adds something unique to the team fight that J.Storm just don't have out of their supports.
See Arjit taking objectives, the backup behind him, making it very hard for Mineski to make a play. You know, they don't want to initiate on this Morphling. They know that whatever they throw at Arjit will instantly be taken off by the backup of Pylai Dai.
Importantly, there's a slight buyback advantage for J.Storm. Their 2 carries have buyback while Mineski have it on just 1.
He's going to look for the backlines. Gets the jump in. They managed to find out Febby. Jump forward as well, but the false promise is there. It's going to be used on Febby to save him. Pylai Dai will fall. They managed to get Arjit as well. Arjit's dead! Without buyback for 2 minutes, J.Storm finally the big kills. They'll get a 3rd move with the double kill onto Febby as Febby will fall. Run, little piggy, run. There's no escape for Moon as he's surrounded as well. The Aeon Disc will get procced. He's got a fair bit of movement speed, but they'll chase him to the end of the earth here as J.Storm looking to team wipe Mineski, and they'll get it. Everybody dead on Mineski. Only Moon with a buyback available. He'll use it immediately. Actually, TP's toward the mid-grade, but Forev, he's there with the reaction. He'll box over himself. As Moon, he's the only one left alive. I mean, can he even hold them off on his own?
He can't, Owen. It's over. They're going to get the
They're going to go for the game.
There's nothing you can't defend here.
They know. There's no buyback.
Wow. They burst down the Morphling. March heard me saying, oh, you know, there's not much a Lion can do in a teamfight compared to Oracle. He's like, watch this. Blink, Hex. He gets the lockdown they need on the Morphling. Morphling doesn't get the false promise. It's the way that we saw J.Storm win all those early game fights.
And Moon, he'll try one last ditch attempt. He bought a refresher orb to pop another exorcism. He'll head in. He's trying to keep them off the edge, but J.Storm focused the game. GG is called. And in a long one, J.Storm are finally able to shut it down. But I mean, they certainly took their time.
Yeah, it's so hard to play this Oracle when multiple people are getting bursted. And the Sonic Wave AoE damage, he uses on the ET, and as a result, the second that False Promise is used, Lion blinks in, goes on the Morphling, knows that there's no way this Morphling can be saved from that Hex into Impale. They blow up the Morphling, the fight's over. And without a buyback there, that just means Mineski, they clawed their way back into this game. They held strong. They got that 3rd Roshan, and that's where things suddenly looked like it was 50-50, and it really was, but J.Storm just a little bit more clutch in the late game. Some of that veteran experience of players like March and Fear really showing.
A crazy game from both teams there. J.Storm able to shut it down, but as you say, Mineski, I mean, you can only imagine if Mineski had that little bit of a better start, say Moon doesn't end up dying 3 times in that mid lane matchup, that game could have gone a whole different direction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the start was just absolutely horrific for Mineski. They couldn't have asked for a worse laning stage. Some of that was individual play. Some of that was just, you know, J.Storm laning really well, going for the aggro trial and bat in a 1v1 against Slaughter. Both those side lanes were very Mineski favored. The mid lane was the one matchup that should have been even, and then Mineski, Braille just outplays the matchup. They win 3 lanes. It's still a very even game, and that really speaks to just how tough and close this series is going to be. Because
absolutely. They couldn't get closer than that.
Normally you lose 3 lanes, the game's just over, but no, Mineski take it 45 plus minutes.
Yeah, a crazy start to this best of 3 series. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, but as it stands, Storm taking the lead, 1-up in this best of 3 against Mineski. We'll see you soon.